Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Yes, again, as with the beginning of every one of these calls, the reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. Remember, that's your greatest power. There is no greater power that you have. And that power, again, is your ability to accept, reject ideas, to originate ideas. Now, again, sit in that for just one moment here. You can think what you please. If to think is to form, you can form what you please. You can form, you can shape outcomes in your life. You can change the results. You can change how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. You can rid yourself from the tyranny of second causes. And the way to do that is to exercise that power that's always been in you, the power that's in you right here, right now, the power that's going to be within you. I mean, again, really grab onto that. You can accept, reject any idea. And the sooner that you do that, the sooner you'll be free. Now, what have we been studying that reinforces this beautiful truth? Well, we've been studying this beautiful gem here. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. See, a lot of people think and believe that they are the ones stopping themselves, that they're their own worst enemy, that they're battling against themselves, that they're self-sabotaging, and all of it's a lie. It's not true. And again, that's what we've been diving into here in this beautiful gem. And our invitation to you is to embrace these truths. And as a matter of fact, don't take our word on it and don't actually trust what we're saying with regards to this. Go test it for yourself. Dive into it and say, you know what, I'm going to prove this wrong. And you know what will happen is amazingly, you'll start to see that it's actually not a lie. You'll realize that this is actually a beautiful truth. So, yes, go challenge it, engage with the information so that you gain some understanding about what it is that we are talking about. Now, another beautiful announcement is that on Friday, not Fridays, on Saturday, I should say, we have this event called Emergence, where we're going to be diving deep into all the things that must happen inside of you to make a change so that you can emerge. And that's taking place at 1:11 p.m. EST, and you can register at elevitality.com. Make sure that you register and also invite someone to come along with you. If you have been helping someone, this is going to help them. Why? Because this has helped you. So make sure that you do invite them. And also, one more announcement. Tomorrow is Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. There will not be a study call live here. And that does not mean that you shouldn't listen yourself or revisit this information or dive into it. Absolutely go for it and do that. With that being said, again, there will not be a live call on Thanksgiving. So, shall we get into this? Shall we dive into this? Are you ready? Type in the comments. I'm ready. Yes, you're ready. Let's go into this. All right, I'll go ahead and switch this over to the book and where we are. Now we're going to go over some of the stuff that we went over in the last session. And again, it ties into who you are. Now, the page that we're on, if you have this soft cover, is page 18. And this is what we're going to start from in this session. And that is this beautiful truth that neither your beliefs nor your habits define who you are. They define how you're thinking. They define, as it states here, beliefs and habits. They define what you're engaged with subconsciously, but they don't define who you are. You are not your beliefs. You are not your habits. Those beliefs and habits are tools. They are tools you use to navigate life. And like any tool, they could be changed, improved, or discarded when they no longer serve you. Now, what are some examples of some beliefs that don't serve you? Well, something as simple as, I can't. I'm not good enough. Other beliefs that are examples of this are tied from your precedent, the history that you have of whatever you've done, where there's a belief that that's how it's going to continue. Now, think about those beliefs. If you do have them, if you keep doing the same things, it's because there's a belief inside of you of some kind combined with a habitual pattern inside of you that's making that happen. So the suggestion is to question whether or not that's serving you and also to invite the idea of letting it go. Now, again, really grab onto that. These habits, these beliefs are not a fixed condition of things. They can be removed, they can be replaced. And the best part is you can change them to be whatever you want. Let's go back to that statement, it is done unto you as you believe. Ask believing, you shall receive. See, those are statements of truth. Those are statements that express the importance of shifting what you believe to be true. You should constantly question what you believe. You should constantly question what's happening in your life, not from the perspective of worrying and doubting, but from the perspective and from the intention of strengthening your beliefs and your habits. Because if you don't change those, your life will not change regardless of the truth of who you are. So let's read over this again. Neither your beliefs, neither your habits nor your beliefs define who you are. They are not a definition of you. They are a definition of the constructs that you've accepted. They are tools used to navigate life, and like any tool, they can be changed, improved, or discarded when they no longer serve you. And that is amazing. Now let's go further. Your beliefs in particular are based on your evaluations. They're based on the information that you move around. Now, many of us, unfortunately, have the habit of moving the same information, okay? Of which most of the information didn't even come from us. It came from your past experiences, more particularly when you were growing up to the age of about 7 or 8. But because it's been repeated so often and because it's set in you, in other words, it has roots and has a lot of deep roots, it unfortunately stays, but it doesn't have to. Now, in order to change that, you've got to have an open mind and you've got to move information around. Why? Because your beliefs are based on evaluations. Well, in order to change your beliefs, you reevaluate. It's very simple. Super, super simple. Now, let's dive into the importance of doing this and how you have this ability to do this. Remember, your greatest power is your agency, your ability to act, be acted upon, to accept, reject ideas. Well, that means you can move whatever information around you want to in your mind. So constantly maintain an open mind and be willing to reevaluate everything, especially you. And that's why these calls are so important. These calls here have a tremendous amount of depth. Wouldn't you agree? These calls have a tremendous amount of depth. And what's beautiful is when you reevaluate with this depth of information, what's been changing in your life, what starts to change. You starts to change is your belief in yourself. Hasn't that been the case for you? Hasn't that been something that's shifted inside of you? So again, let's go back to this. Your beliefs in particular are based on your evaluations. And here's something interesting. Frequently, when you reevaluate something, your belief about it changes. Change your belief, you change your life. Change the habits in your mind, which are connected to your beliefs, you change your life. It's that simple. Now, here, an example is shared. Think about a time when you learned something new that completely shifted how you saw a situation. Did your belief about it change? When you got more information, when you were willing to reevaluate, did your belief about it change? And the answer is, of course it did. It shows that beliefs are not as rigid as they may seem. They are as flexible as your willingness to re-examine them. And if you are willing to open your mind as much as possible and to reevaluate, I have news for you. The sky's the limit for you when it comes to achievement. That's what will happen to you. That's what will change in your life a lot. Now, before we proceed and go further, for those of you who are watching this live stream, first we have an invitation for you to join us on Saturday for Emergence, and then also to register for Master Your Mind. You can do so by going to Elevitality and registering so that you can gain access to the rest of these calls and the recordings. If you do so, you'll thank yourself.